welcome back to a brand new vlog. If we haven't met before, my name is Sam and I am building two businesses from scratch. I am Australian, but I'm based in New York, and this vlog is the behind the scenes kind of journey about what's involved in doing that. All of the fun stuff, but also all of the challenges, and there's been a lot more challenges than fun stuff. So where we left things off last week is that on both of the businesses that I'm building, I have blockers that are literally stopping everything from going ahead. On the skincare brand, the challenge that I'm having is with relation to name. Now, admittedly, it doesn't stop everything, but it is stopping a lot of things. Essentially, I had a trademark issue, I had to change the name, and now I'm having a really hard time finding something that fits in the center of the Venn diagram that is desirable and I like from a consumer kind of feeling perspective, what is actually achievable from a trademark perspective, and then what is on strategy from a long-term brand perspective. And finding something that ticks all of those boxes is proving to be exceedingly difficult. I've still got the formula that should be arriving this week, the first batch of formula, which is super exciting, but I can't decide things like packaging. I can't decide on everything else that flows out of the brand, all the creative and everything else, until I have the name locked away. So it is actually holding up quite a lot. On the other side of the shop, on the laundry part, there's two big blockers. One is with relation to the creative. I've had an issue with the creative. The final round came back that I don't like, so I need to work through that and figure out how I can get it fixed. The other thing is actually finding a physical space and signing a commercial lease, which is proving to be exceedingly difficult. Now, all of these things weren't initially blockers, they were just tasks, but now I haven't been able to resolve them for so long that they've actually become blockers because they're stopping so many things from being able to move ahead. So I have decided that this week I am going to 100% get one of those things off the list. I'm going to resolve one of those things. I think it's more likely to be the creative on the laundry brand or the name on the skincare brand than the physical space, because commercial leases take a long time to negotiate. But I've decided that I just have to get one of those off my list and get things moving, because everything is getting held up and this is rapidly becoming the most boring vlog on YouTube. And that is saying something, because I'm pretty sure that I saw one once where you were literally watching paint dry. So wish me luck, join me. We're going to do this. This is going to be the week one of those things is going to get solved.
Watch this.
Okay, I promise I have actually moved from this location this week. In fact, it's been kind of a crazy week, so we're already at the end of the week. But there was a few things that I wanted to catch you up that happened this week. One, with regards to the laundromat and the space. We had kind of an interesting opportunity this week to speak to one of the landlords directly, which was fantastic to actually begin that negotiation process. The problem is that the landlord has said that because I'm a startup or the business is a startup and doesn't have a proven track record, they want a really massive deposit for the rent, 6 months deposit, which is wild. I haven't factored that into my model when I was building. I didn't expect a 6-month deposit. So I'm trying to figure out with them how that might be possible to make it work, because it really messes with my cash flow if I have to pay 6 months rent up front. So the second part of that same property is that my engineer still needs to go and look at the space to understand the implications for the electricity, water, gas, all those sorts of things for the space, so that we can get a better estimate of how long it's going to take and what the costs might be to be able to do the work on that space to make it workable for my specific needs. With regards to the creative, I got the final creative delivered this week and it's not where I need it to be. So unfortunately, after taking a huge leap on a particular partner to be able to do the creative work, I am now, I don't want to say back to the drawing board, because I still love components of what they did. It's only in an idea stage though, it's not done. And so I am now on the hunt for a designer, and I've spoken to a number of them this week. I think I've had 6 or 8 conversations, one-on-one conversations with designers, to try and find the right person who is located closer to home, so closer to New York, who is able to help me, like, not only finalize the brand parts, but also to be able to be an ongoing part of like the company, like the brand, like how it all evolves over the course of time. On the skincare front, two things. One, this week I got the samples, these are 2 samples, of the very first formula for the Hero product. These are really interesting. Like, I've obviously never been through a process quite like this before, so it was very interesting to get them. They're similar ingredients because obviously we spoke at length with the formulator about the ingredients before we actually went into this. Similar ingredients, just kind of different blends and different formulations, so they have slightly different textures and slightly different outcomes. I don't know if you can quite see that. I'm looking on the viewfinder now. I don't know if you can quite see that, but the one on the left is ever so slightly tinted and this one isn't. So they're kind of the 2 big differences. I'm going to be honest with you, these are like fine, but they're definitely not what I want to launch an entire brand with. So there's still a lot of work to go into these, but it was obviously a really massive milestone just to actually get formula samples in my hands. So it was great to be able to get that. On the name front, this has been one of the more challenging parts of this process that I never foresaw. I've always found it pretty easy to name things. I've always had a great experience with that, but this has been a really challenging one. One, I think I made the mistake of asking too many people what they thought, and I in some ways regret that because people can put you off something that you truly believe in. The other problem is all of the trademark elements that I've already spoken about before. So where I'm at the moment is that there are 2 names that I've narrowed it down to. Those 2 names are Belmont and Uniform Victor. They both have meaning for me, and I have ideas about how I could build both of those out into really extraordinary brands. I'm just trying to figure out some of those final working parts now. I am hoping that by the time you watch this, I will actually have an answer, because oh my gosh, has this been a painful process. I feel like I'm just ready to tear my hair out, which sounds really silly because ultimately, like, it's just a name, but I feel like the name is a foundation on which you build a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I really just need to kind of sort it out and get it done. So next week we have a bit of a short week because it's a public holiday here and another Jewish holiday. So the week is kind of chopped up with availability of various people and all those sorts of things. But next week I'm really hoping that I can finalize a decision on a designer to move ahead with for the Dirtbag Creative, but also that I can have actually finalize the name for the skincare brand and be able to start moving ahead with that in earnest. The other thing is that on Tuesday next week, the engineer is meeting with the building manager for my preferred property location to actually go through in detail what might be required of the space in order to be able to get it up to spec. So big week next week from those perspectives. The other thing is that next week I am going to take the time to revisit a lot of the strategy that I've done on both of those brands, to be able to update it, to really refine it and think through it, because now I've had a little bit of time and things have evolved since I initially worked on it. So that, I think, is a really good use of time while I'm waiting on a lot of other people to kind of get everything together. The other thing, of course, will be providing feedback on these bad boys. Oh, and one last thing that I forgot to show you. There are some packaging samples that have come in. So here are 2 of them. I'm thinking at this stage that I'm actually going to go ahead with a monoplastic because it's lightweight, it still has substance to it. It is way more recyclable than the glass alternatives, and I think that it's just that much more convenient. So this one has a lid that's a pump that's actually built in to the top of it. It doesn't have one of those little clicky locks, but I think because it's flush like this, it's not going to be easily depressed. What I like about it is that the button can be a different color from the edge, which can be a different color from the outside. So I think it gives a lot of kind of creative opportunities. This is another one that I'm looking into. I really like the shape of it. I think it's quite nice the way it's slightly curved on the end here. The way you get the pump part out of this, because as you can see, it almost looks like it's completely sealed on the top, is actually to twist the bottom. I think I might have shown you this one when I was at Makeup in New York. You twist the bottom of it and the pump comes up and you go from there. Again, this can be a different color from this, which can be a different color from this, or different treatments, which I think gives it a lot of potential. Anyway, I can't actually make any further decisions on packaging between these and the glass option until the formula is finalized, because ultimately the formula actually needs to be stability tested in the container, so in the package. So this is about as far as I can get with this for the time being. And yeah, we will be able to make some more executive decisions closer to, like, in a couple of months when this is kind of more refined. Anyway, that's me for a week. Thanks for bearing with me. I am really hoping for like more progress next week, and just to get some of these final things locked away so I can get moving on all of the stuff that flows out of these kind of big things that are blocking more momentum, more progress at the moment. Anyway, enjoy what's left of your week, and I will see you next week. Bye.